Hey, I think we're live. I'm just going to start. And normally, you know that I'm a fiend about preparing. That was one of the major's main mantras: prepare and allow. So I did no preparing today. I have nothing, nothing planned. But what did come to my mind during training this morning, and what I've been seeing over the last few days and like the last couple weeks, especially since contact is improving. You guys are getting all the time now that straight line elbow to bit is becoming part of your seat, part of your overall instrument. And the horses are getting more connected, and then the rein management is sort of becomes sort of obvious. So the horses are getting more through. So your aids are becoming more vivid to the horse. Now, that in and of itself sounds like a good result. But what I'm really seeing now is because the aids are going through better, I'm sensing that you guys are starting to almost get a little greedy for the meaning of the aids and how it's like the communication with the horses is improving. I know that sounds sort of trite and everyone's talking about fake shit like that online, but I really mean it. It's what I'm seeing is you're like, oh, you're going bend, you're sitting left, bend left, horse. Yes, good. Don't, stay connected when you do that. Reason, horsey, it feels better if you stay connected, and the aid going through increases the connection. So it all starts to build it. When the system starts to work, every feature of the system starts to improve the entire system. And I'm sure I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. The horse world at large is illiterate. The best riders, with the exception of the top 4 or 5. I mean, it's really, and there's a lot of very good riders that nobody's looking at that aren't ignorant on this, but they're not here. They're not online. And I mean, here in America, they are training. You know, there is a teacher in Germany that nobody knows. Well, you guys know because I talk about him all the time. But what I'm saying, I got off the track talking about how few know the language of the aids and are using it and are teaching it to horses. By and large, the horse world is illiterate. And people are getting by off of innate talent and feel. I mean, all of us, me and all of you guys, we were all the best riders in our barns growing up. We're all good, really good natural horse people. We've all got feel. We all have a sense for a horse. But the thing that separates the men from the boys or the sheep from the goats is the actual schooled equitation, which is the language of the natural aids. And what I'm seeing is you guys are starting to go, my aids. This is about aid. Riding is about the natural aids, and the communication with the horse is we communicate by sensation, but it is not a guessing game or charades. It is a language that we can write down, which is why Harry Bolt wrote it down. See, and what I'm excited about is I sense that you guys are, I think that's feeling obvious to you. I don't feel like you're having a light bulb. I feel like you're like, oh, my aid is that my left side aids aren't as good as my right. I think I'll school them. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's what we need to do. But it isn't a big deal. It isn't like a catastrophe if my left aids aren't going through as well as my right. We know what to do. We have the toolbox. We maybe do a jump bed. We maybe do a turn on the forehand. We might even notice it on our way to the mounting block. and give them a little bit of a flick the way Phyllis would in Close Work Advancing. And what I am excited about is that as what I'm excited about is seeing all of this in front of like this is all happening now. It's all starting to happen. And I had estimated 2 years in the real-time training, and it's the first few of you started, I think, exactly 2 years ago, like February 1st. And through like February to June is when we zoomed. It's kind of a rhyme. So 2 years, we're right on track. Everyone started from behind scratch, and we're all advancing forward. And I do not know, besides Yoni Hilberath and Tineke Bartel and Jan Bemmelman and a few others, I don't know. There's not many barns or stables with as many trained, literate, competitive riders right now. The barn, the horse world is, it's usually a barn with a bunch of clients that pay the bills and a superstar. I don't want that model. Okay. I wanted to say, so since I'm talking about I'm seeing the natural aids and the language of the riding starting to happen. Like really, like I'm seeing you guys riding by the aids and the horse. It's all getting very good. And it's almost as if the very first lesson, which was section 27, which was me reading out loud to Brownie, and he was, and I was reading along in the Army manual, and he was doing the things the Army manual said about the law of association of sensations, that at first he feels the stick, and then he hears the click, and then the leg replaces. So it all becomes substitution and synonyms, and we build the language by the law of association of sensations so that the lexicon, seat, leg, hand, or the effects of the seat, leg, hand are easy for the rider to deliver and understandable and comfortable for the horse to receive. And that's section 27 in the French manual and the US manual. I think it's so, I don't know another section of writing in the instructions from the masters that can top it. Podolsky does talk about, when he talks about what classical riding really is that the rider has the thought and the horse executes the thought. But I still think that the way that early idea, the basis of an equestrian language and the law of association of sensations that's spelled out by SAUMUR, I think is really the best. So I encourage you guys to reread that. And I am going to, maybe today, hopefully tonight, but soon, I'm going to attach the link. Maybe I can do it up here. There might be a way to do that. For Brownie demonstrating section 27. And I would like all of you to just reread section 27 and maybe go to 101 and review Brownie's lesson, or I'm going to pin it here, attach it here or in the description below. In the description below, if you're not in our program, I would love for you to be in our program. The way to be in the program is just get classes 101 through 105 under your belt. Usually those classes take either a week or a year to digest. And they alone will change your riding. If after you've done those classes, you think on it and think, yeah, I'm convinced this is what I want to train, then we can talk about it. But they will make you just on their own without me or without continuing on. They will change a lot and make you more literate than most riders in the world. So please, that I'll put the link for the website in the description below. I'm beginning to sound like a YouTuber. But really what it is, it's more like you got to do this or don't hang out here, because the curriculum is the instructions from the masters. And this office hours is for discussing what we're already studying, practicing, and mastering. So you've got to start with the study. Okay, I think that's it. I'm out of here.